It's time for the game picks, folks.
Yes.
This is it. Last set of full game picks for the 2023-2024 NFL season. It's kind of sad, but it's also obviously very exciting.
Yeah.
A lot can still happen. If you haven't yet, go watch the AFC, NFC playoff clinching scenarios because we're obviously going to talk about them here and who needs what to have happen in order to make the playoffs. We've got playoff games this weekend.
Yes.
One of them is Saturday night. But we're going to start with Saturday's first game, 3:30 Central Time, 4:30 Eastern. Pittsburgh Steelers going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Before we get into today's video, guys, I just want to give a special shout out to today's sponsors, starting with Goldfine and Bowles, Lawyers for the Injured. Personal injury, workers' compensation, those are their two things, but any sort of legal advice, they're the people to call. Give them a phone call, 309-673-5144. Tell them we sent you, okay? And I'd also like to shout out SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video as well. Use promo code PLAYBOOKSPORTS on their website to get $20 off your first purchase of $30 or more. Let's get back to the video. As the Ravens are playing mostly backups, I would be playing all my backups. Like you have to have 48 guys to play a game, but my 22 starters, it's not you. You're not the 22 playing. Maybe one or two here and there, but anybody, if you're even remotely banged up, you're sitting.
I can't. Yeah, I like that, and I can't lie though, man. I see why every single team does it. Obviously, injuries, but I really wish teams would run out there. Like Baltimore is going to be sitting for 2 weeks. Like you could get cold, man.
I wouldn't be upset if we played
15 plays,
a few series.
a couple runs,
series or
screen passes only, one deep shot. Lamar come out.
Yep, you're done.
Immediately.
Yep.
The ball's out of your hand in 2 seconds. Don't you dare extend the play.
Scramble.
Don't
if
you
there's
dare
any
extend
pressure,
the play.
just lay down.
Throw. Yeah,
just lay
that's
down
all
and
you
throw it
do
away.
just to get a little action. But I get it. Is that really worth
Right,
it?
is that
But,
worth it?
I don't know.
It's
man.
tough because you put him out there for one play.
Yeah, exactly. And it's how
and
much
something bad
and
happens.
it's, oh my God, what did we do?
Why
What
did
we
he even
do?
play?
Yeah.
Right, then you hate yourself.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't risk it. Be smart, and I like what they're doing.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, though, everything to play for. A win, and they're in the playoffs. A loss.
They need a little help.
Do they?
They
I'm
need
trying to remember.
Jacksonville to
If
lose,
Jacksonville wins,
or
Houston and
Bills.
Indy is guaranteed in the winner of that.
Yeah,
and
Houston
then Bills
needs it
win.
no matter what. If
You
Jags
guys
win,
are wild
Bills,
card. Yeah.
So if Bills, they need the Bills or Jags to lose.
Yeah.
One of those two teams has
but
to
if
lose.
both of them lose, they also miss.
Yeah.
Yes. If both Jags and Bills lose?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Because
interesting.
then they lose the tiebreaker with someone else.
Someone. Basically, they have to win.
Yeah.
They got to
Yeah.
win and get in. Going to Baltimore, I will say, interesting stat I found. Since 2020, Pittsburgh's 6-1 since Baltimore. Straight up. 3-0 against Lamar, 3-1 against other QBs. Pittsburgh -3 right now. It is a home division dog. I like those. I just think one team has everything to play for, and one team is literally like, nobody get hurt. Everybody play soft coverage. Nobody go hard. Take it easy. I know it's a Harbaugh coach team, and will he allow that? I would. If I'm him, man, and these are backup players, I'm not telling you. I'm saying 50 to 60% effort. All right. It doesn't matter what happens in this game. Whatever happens here literally does not matter for us at all. And honestly, I don't think that they're afraid of Pittsburgh. If I'm Baltimore, right, and I'm looking ahead, I'm thinking, okay, who do I not want to see in the playoffs? And I think there's only one team in the AFC that Baltimore would be like, I don't think I want to see them. And it's the Buffalo Bills, honest to God. I really do think that. I think that or Cleveland, potentially, too. But nobody wants Buffalo in the playoffs on the AFC side because that's a team that can go nuclear, and they can also come out and shit the bed. Yeah. Like, they go nuclear against Miami and Dallas, and then they escape Easton Stick and the Chargers. They escape Bailey Zappi, who threw 3 interceptions before he completed a pass to his own fucking team, and barely beat them. So I think if I'm Baltimore, I'm like, hey, it's okay if Pittsburgh wins this game. We can beat fucking Pittsburgh any time, any place. But I don't want Buffalo. I'm going with Pittsburgh -3 in this game. I think Pittsburgh wins this game outright because that's what the script has. Because, and we'll get more into it, this NFL season is going to come down to this last game, Sunday night. And what better drama than the Buffalo Bills being in a game where you're the win in the 2 seed and you lose and you go home forever. Season's over.
It's so poetic.
It is. That is the drama of this season. That is the drama of the NFL. And that's what's going to happen. Yep. I'm going with Pittsburgh -3 and to win outright. Sage, you're Baltimore Ravens in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with Pittsburgh as well. The picks are too close for me to actually play with
get
my
crazy.
Heart right here,
I know. I'm playing all head this week.
I know.
All head
right here. And I got to go with Pittsburgh.
Hey.
Mason Rudolph, he's been on a tear recently.
He has. He really has.
He's been putting up points. Baltimore, obviously, we are starting a quarterback that had a perfect passer rating last week. And Tyler Huntley.
Oh, my God.
One pass, 19 yards.
One pass, 19-yard touchdown. I can't believe you guys were throwing the ball. Right after Bradley Chubb gets hurt, Harbaugh goes, hey, let's go throw another touchdown on him. You fucking dicks.
You know how many Dolphins fans I fought about on Twitter this week where they were talking about that, and I was like, who put up 70 points?
It's true, and we were throwing a deep ball to Robbie Chosen. I know.
I need to hear it.
I know. I've got nothing to say.
Yeah. You enjoyed that game.
I did. I was there. Loved every second of it.
But that being said, Baltimore secondary has been absolutely ravaged with injuries recently. So we're definitely not playing half our secondary.
Correct.
But then when you're bringing in our practice squad guys, when you're bringing in our third string guys, stuff like that, to cover, George Pickens
and
Deontay Johnson. Najee Harris had 107 yards last week.
Yep.
Jalen Warren's playing like a man possessed.
Yeah.
They have a lot to play for right now.
Everything.
Their offense is absolutely rolling.
Yep.
Their defense, I'm a little worried just because I don't want them to destroy our line.
True.
Right before the playoffs.
Right.
Our line is probably going to be the position group
most
that has
starters.
The most starters, fringe players, stuff like that, actually playing just because you can't have too much depth on there taking up roster spots.
Right.
So I hope that,
I think Ronnie Stanley's probably the only one that I don't play. I think I play the rest of them.
That's fine if he plays. He's been awful. Why did we pay you? Why did we pay you just for you to break your ankle 2 years in a row and then Orlando Brown make all the money?
Make all the money.
Yeah.
Why did we do that?
That's a good point.
I don't know. Anyways, I like Baltimore in this game to keep it close, but not 3 points close. Give me Pittsburgh.
I like it. Colin.
AFC North, home division dog. Baltimore's the king of preseason, although they're normally going against
preseasoners.
And
second and third stringers on the other side. National holiday. Nate's favorite day of the year is Saturday, actually.
Nobody asked me where I was.
Jokes.
Son of a bitch.
Shit.
Jokes only.
oh my god.
I'm there just in my Dolphins gear looking around. The fuck are you all doing here?
Just
running around roughshod.
just scaling some columns. Outside the Lincoln money. No, I'm kidding. Give me Baltimore at home here, though. I kind of disagree with there's one team they don't want to see, and it's Buffalo. I think they don't want to see Pittsburgh 6-1.
Yeah, against
beat them
that's
this
true.
year. Yeah,
That's
sure
true.
was a
And
collapse.
they could potentially
but still.
sweep them this year. So, I mean, at some point that is kind of in the back of the head. And I do think Buffalo is good, but they're so much better at home. And hopefully they're not going to be
Hopefully
at
they're
home.
not going to be at home, right.
Give me Baltimore in this game plus the 3, because why not?
Okay,
Yeah,
fair enough.
you brought up that they were going to, 50-60% effort. That's not what's going to happen.
No, I know. They're professionals. They're going to go
Not even
hard.
professionals. These teams hate each other.
Yeah, it's an AFC North matchup. I'm just telling my guys, don't you dare get hurt.
It would make me no happier than to send out our JV squad and send the Pittsburgh Steelers home.
That would be insane. That would be such a smack in the mouth for
God,
Pittsburgh and their fans.
And actually, we did it in 2019.
Yes, that's
Tyler
true.
Huntley went out there and sent them home.
I did read that. Yeah.
I do also really like the under in this game, not only because it's AFC North, but because
It's Mason Rudolph versus Tyler Huntley.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Addison, bring us home on this one.
I am also going to take Baltimore plus the 3, Colin. Pittsburgh, everything to play for. -3 only against a bunch of backups. Obviously, they're on the road, so the line is a little bit more towards Pittsburgh. But still, they think it's going to be a close one, and I think it will be as well. Harbaugh's just going to have the boys ready to play, and the guys that aren't out there often are going to be itching to take their time.
True.
This is their moment.
Chance to
Might
show
get
off,
a contract
right?
from somebody else next
That's
year.
true. Come on,
So
ball.
come out, make a name for yourself. I will say, obviously, damn good kicker, probably best kicker ever, Justin Tucker. Dustin Hopkins should have been the Pro Bowl kicker for the AFC, man. That guy had a great season. Name alone, hey, I just got a shot at Hopkins. He had an elite year.
Yeah.
Hey, Browns sucked to get in the end zone, and he was putting points up on the board for him. Obviously, different team. Just got to shout that out. But Baltimore plus 3, I think they're going to win the game. I really do. I think the Steelers are going to fall apart. They got 9 wins.
Yeah, they're over
It's over.
500.
Done.
It's
Magic's
true.
done. Ran out.
Yeah.
Magic's done.
Yeah.
They ran out.
Used it all to get
They
over
can get in with a
500.
loss on some bullshit, and it might happen still.
True,
But
it's good.
give me Baltimore plus the 3. Give me a money line as well.
Ooh, okay. I like that. Opal money line. I'm writing that down.
Come on.
Yeah, money line. All right, Saturday night football game. This is the one that I'm going to be watching every single second of. I'm going to break out my old blue Peyton Manning jersey that I've had stashed away for years. Years I've had a Peyton Manning jersey sitting and waiting for this moment. Houston Texans going to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis Colts, America's team this weekend. Trust me, I don't care if you're a Texans fan. I don't care if you hate the Colts for whatever reason. You have to root for the Colts this weekend. Everybody and their mother needs to be Indianapolis Colts fans. So that way next week we can all enjoy the gift of Addison doing the Gangnam Style for a full minute. Please! Right now the line is Houston minus 1.5, which is concerning because it makes me think that they think in Houston this would be a 7.5 point spread. Is what that means. That's a big swing. Indianapolis at home. I actually don't even have the stats. I haven't even looked it up because it doesn't matter. Because I'm going with the Colts plus 1.5 here. Without a second doubt, without a single question in my mind. This is a first playoff game of the year, truly. Houston at Indy. Winner goes on. Loser goes home. Massive, massive game. Chance to win the division. If the Jags fall, chance to win the division here. I'm going with the Colts. Sage.
Yeah, I like it. I'm actually going to roll with the Colts as well. It's mostly because of what Gardner Minshew has done recently.
Yeah.
In his past 4 games, they are 4-0 when he does not throw a pick, or 5-0 when he doesn't throw a pick. And these past 4 games, he's been an absolute heater, only thrown 1 pick in those 4 games. On top of that, I'm just really surprised with how Minshew has played this offense, because this offense has not changed much from when they had AR.
Richardson, yeah.
Honestly, they're running just as much RPO as they did when they had Richardson, which is absolutely wild. Maybe that's what Minshew needs. And he's
just something, make the defenders pick, and you do the other. It's in theory very simple.
And Michael Pittman's been great about taking that
he's been awesome.
looky route to the house.
Yep.
Like
Alec Pierce with a deep ball catch last week.
I just think, even though I think Indianapolis, their team itself is a little milquetoast, a little boring for me.
Yeah, agreed.
But I think their floor is about what is going to get them to the playoffs, where Houston needs something nuclear to happen to get there.
Yeah, they need Stroud to do everything.
Yeah.
They need Stroud to carry because their running game has been subpar.
Right.
The defense can get got. They need Stroud to blow up against Indy if they want any chance.
Yep. I just think Indianapolis, they got the better overall team. Houston needs stars to play like stars.
Yep. And it's Indy at home. It's a home division dog. We all love them.
Yep.
So, Colin?
Really love home division dog. I really want to hedge my bet, though, with Houston and just take them for the pick, but I'm not going to. I'm going to take Indy at home here.
Good man.
Although Indy is up a little up and down. They beat the Titans. They lose to the Bengals. They beat the Steelers. They lose to the Falcons. They beat the Raiders. Now, are they going to lose to the Texans?
Lose here.
Don't know. Hall of Fame backdoor cover for the Raiders last week.
True.
Colts minus 3.5. They won by 3.
Yep.
Absolute
Beautiful. I mean, that's the
devastation.
perfect thing if you have the Raiders plus 3.5.
Woo! Absolute devastation. But go ahead and give me a second home division dog here on Saturday.
A lot of home division dogs this weekend. I love it. This is like Christmas for me.
I do love the all division.
Yeah, all division week 18. Everything's up for grabs. I do love that a lot. Addison.
Yeah, I mean, what are you saying? The number 2 team with the number 2 pick and the number 4 pick are playing for the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's damn impressive.
Crazy. Great
D'Amico Ryan,
turnaround
2
by the
rookie coaches as well.
Coaches are
Steichen
great.
and D'Amico Ryans.
Yep.
Man, screw you, Colts. I want to root for you, man. You're my boy's team,
I know.
Bob's team, but I made a dumbass bet. And I will say this, Braden Smith questionable for the Colts. That is a massive, massive injury. If he plays, Colts are like 5-1, 6-1 on the year when that guy's in the lineup. When he's not, they're starting right tackle. The record obviously is not as
very
good. And then the Texans on the other side, man, their injury report is also scary. Tunsil, Will Anderson, Sheldon Rankins, Lee Collins, Andrew Beck. I mean, these guys all play big-time moments. Nico Collins back, though, last week. Him and Stroud, obviously, just connections there. I'm riding with Stroud because what a story it'll be.
Stroud
The
boys.
S2 score. This guy's stupid.
This guy's
he
an
can't do
idiot.
it. He ain't a test taker.
Football player.
He comes to school to play football. And that's what he did. I
like
say that's what he's
Cardale
doing in the
Jones.
league now. Give me them Houston Texans minus the 1.5 in a game.
That you need.
I'm going to be sweating, man.
Bad.
I'm going to be sweating, sitting there just crying my eyes out when the Colts go up 21-0. But I'm praying for a Stroud miracle, a great game. And Braden Smith, man, I love you. Sit out, dog.
Need him not to play.
Man.
Need him not to
Please, I'm
play.
begging you to sit out.
You heard it first, America. On January 6th, Addison is riding with the Stroud boys.
Wow. Unreal.
Oh, wow.
Addison said, Stroud boys, stand back and stand by.
Wow.
He
Jan
tweeted
6
that.
reunion.
Jan 6 reunion,
Wow.
Addison and the Stroud boys.
He's got the group on
Wow.
Facebook already fired up.
Stroud
Wow.
boys.
Unbelievable.
That's sick.
I will say
Sick, Addison.
I mean, win and get in for both these teams. Win and get in.
Yeah, win again.
That's what you
Playoff.
got.
Win again. Lose and go home. See ya.
Is there any scenario, and I should have done my homework, that both these teams could make it
Okay.
now?
Yes, I think there is.
If the Colts
I don't-
win, though, if the Colts can't lose.
I think
they
they'd have to tie.
A tie.
If they
Jags
tie
loss.
and the Jags
Steelers
lose.
loss.
Yeah, and Bills loss, I think. No, not Bills loss.
No.
Steelers and Jags.
Steelers, Jag loss, and they tie
And they
because
tie.
then win percentage would put Colts as division
Winners, and Houston would take the
Houston
7.
would take the 7.
Yep.
I'm pulling up scenarios right now for the rest of the
Which is just that ain't happening.
Right.
If
Well,
these
watch
two
my
teams
video.
tie,
I just watched videos Nate put out. You should
Yeah,
go watch those.
you should go
if
watch
these two teams tie, I do have to sweat Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
which
then
is
you.
prior games.
Yeah,
so
which
I'm
is the
gonna-
first one.
Please, Pittsburgh win. But
Oh, Saturday's going to be some great games. These are 2 good games that have massive, massive implications. Let's get into Sunday's game.
I have
Last
plans
football
for
Sunday.
my lifetime starting next week.
Yeah, I bet you do. Can't make it, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for that fucking video. Oh my god.
Go
Oh
Texas.
my god, it's gonna be a 10,000 view video on our
I can't
channel.
wait for like the blooper reel of that video.
You should know
Yeah,
that that's
'cause
going
it's
on
gonna
every
be-
social media site possible. That's going on Twitter.
That's why
That's going on
Texans are
Facebook.
winning, man.
That's going on IG. That's going on TikTok. That is. I'm gonna make a Truth Social and put it on Truth Social so Donald Trump can watch it.
Texans are winning. Come on.
All right, Sunday. We've got just divisional matchups up and down the board. First up, Cleveland Browns locked into the 5 seed, going to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. Cleveland's resting starters.
Yep.
It's official. I mean, they're locked in the 5, can't win the division, can't move anywhere. They are the 5 seed in the AFC. They will play the AFC South winner. Cincinnati's rolling out their team again. They don't want to go under 500. They want to say, all right, listen, this was a bad year. We still went above 500. We can do it. Cleveland will be starting Jeff Driscoll at QB, who they just signed off of a practice squad. Cincinnati -7 is a lot of points. And I like Cleveland's head coach. I like Kevin Stefanski. I like him. I don't know if I like him more than Zach Taylor, but maybe. Is Zach Taylor a Joe Burrow merchant? I don't know. Sage, tell me about this game. These are 2 of your most favorite teams in the NFL.
Yeah, I hate these teams, but while hating these teams, you do learn a lot about these teams.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland has the depth.
Yes.
You know, obviously, we've heard about their roster so many times, and you can only rest so many players because of how many players you have to have on the field.
Right.
So, obviously, they have the depth to stay in this game, but the most important position is quarterback. And when you're signing someone off the street, you're not going to hit gold twice.
No, you're not.
You know?
No way.
You got Joe Flacco.
Right.
Congrats.
All
You're
your
letting him
magic.
rest for a year. That's your magic. You bottle it up. You save it for the playoffs.
Bingo.
But you can't have Jeff Driscoll go off this week because it's not possible. It's
That's
not
not
gonna
something
happen.
he does. It's
Let's
just
be
not
very
him.
realistic.
Yes.
Also, Jeff Driscoll revenge game right here.
Yeah,
He's
was
playing
on the Bengals.
Cincinnati.
Yeah. Well.
Cincinnati right now, they're playing Jake Browning. Jake Browning has had a very up and down season, but he's had more ups and downs. He started 3-1, very impressive start. But I believe, is Jamar Chase not playing this week?
He's on the injury list, so he might be. Although they'll probably just sit him. They'll probably be like an inactive because he's been hurt.
Right.
This game means nothing. I wouldn't play him.
Right. I do expect a big T. Higgins game. He's trying to get a bag.
He's on the questionable list. He's hurt. He got hurt in the game last week. I just saw, but they said it's likely he'll play.
Okay.
He's
okay.
likely to go.
Sounds good. I'm going to take Cincinnati here at -7 just because I think they don't have more to play for, but the Browns have nothing to play for.
Right.
The Browns they're gonna be competitive, but Cincinnati they're at home. You want to put on a show for your people. You got a starting quarterback that's been in the offense.
Yep.
And Jeff Driscoll, he's playing, but is Amari Cooper going to play? Probably not.
Probably
is
not.
David Njoku going to be playing? Probably not. So you're throwing to Cedric Tillman.
And no Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Nobody on the defense that's worth a damn will play either. It's going to be a lot of backups in this game for Cleveland because they literally have nothing to gain from it. And they play next week. It's not like they're sitting for 2 weeks to get rusty at all.
Yeah.
Like, they have a game next week on the road that they have to be ready to go for.
Right.
So I like it. Cincinnati. Colin, thoughts here?
I'm going to go with another division dog. I think 7 is just a touch too much. I know Addison gave a shout-out to Hopkins. I want to give a shout-out to Martin Emerson Jr. or Emerson Jr. I forget his name already. Should be a Pro Bowler. I think they got the wrong corner for the Browns in the Pro Bowl. Denzel Ward hasn't been as good as he's been this year. So I want to give him a shout on the pod here. Love that Cleveland roster.
Love that Cleveland roster.
And I'd argue Stefanski probably is right there with Taylor as a coach.
I would say so.
Going with the depth of Cleveland, I do think they have a little bit of pride to play for, just because why not?
Yeah, may as well
let's
beat
You don't
them.
want to go get shit punked by your
No,
division
that's
rival.
bad
week before
vibes.
a
Bad
playoff.
vibes.
Yeah.
Bad
You want to go there
vibes.
and compete and cover the 7. Another Hall of Fame backdoor cover last week.
Yeah,
Or it wasn't really a backdoor, but
they won big.
Tank and Cincy on the road plus the 7 in Kansas City, they lose by 8.
No.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Okay.
You hold the Chiefs to what?
This
6
is a-
field goals?
This is a
6.
bad
6 field goals.
intentional grinding call.
A bad intentional grounding call.
Joe Mixon was
Give
there.
me Cleveland on the road.
Okay, I like it. Addison, thoughts on this football
It's,
game?
it's pretty fucked up that you said Jeff Driscoll, and my mind went to that picture of his ass when he was at Florida. He's got a dumper, dog. I mean, it's
dumper.
impressive, man. So I'm going Cleveland plus the 7 with the roster plus Driscoll's
Plus
ass.
the dumper.
Plus
We're
the
gonna
ass.
need that added.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
no,
need
you're
this.
it's an easy pick to find.
That's
I know,
easy.
just
I
Jeff
got it.
Driscoll ass. That's all I gotta look
Driscoll
at.
ass.
May have searched at a
Florida.
time or two, sadly, but give me Cleveland plus a 7, Colin. I just think it's a lot. Yeah, Cincinnati up and down. They can score a lot of points, but it's ugly. It's last week of the season. 7 points in a game. Cleveland scores 2 rushing touchdowns. Gets 2 picks.
Damn, because of Jeff Driscoll's ass, I really want to take Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pulling.
But
I
I
mean, you
cannot.
go to Edison's phone and just type in JE.
Yeah, it's up.
And it's Jeff Driscoll ass.
Watch how fast I have this.
But I simply cannot hinge our entire pick season on me going with Jeff Driscoll's ass. And
I need one of those
because I think
plays.
Cincinnati.
I need one of those
I think
plays.
Cincinnati is going to win this. I think Cleveland again is in their team where it's like, listen, our eyes are on next week. They're not on this week. The game plan is going to be vanilla as fuck.
Yeah.
Why would you show the Jags or whoever wins the AFC South exactly what you're going to do? You're not going to run any of your offense. You're not going to run any of your defense because you're just giving them tape. So I think it's just going to be, hey, run forward, and then punt. We'll run it 3 times and punt. So that's why I'm going to take Cincinnati in this one. At home, Cleveland is obviously not as good of a team on the road as they are at home. Cleveland 8-1 at home, 3-4 on the road.
Yeah.
I like Cincinnati at home in this spot minus the 7 points. Just because, why not? Again, a pride game for them. Go above 500. Cleveland has literally nothing to play for in this spot. Don't show off your game plan. Because some people want to see Joe Flacco go into Baltimore and knock him out. Some people. No names. Some people want to see that. I don't know who.
I don't know who.
Some people might want to see that.
You'd like that, wouldn't you? You wouldn't have to play us.
I would. Colin would like it too. I would because it means we have a better shot at
tell me
hosting.
that ass isn't huge.
Damn!
That's huge, bro.
That's
Like,
Photoshop.
I mean,
That kid, is he wearing a thong? I mean, is he wearing a thong?
it's
in that
probably like a
picture?
jock strap for his
Oh
cup, right?
my
I mean,
God.
hey,
Oh shit.
He doesn't miss.
he's got a
ass
dumper,
day.
man.
That thing is Kim
That's leg
Kardashian.
day.
That is unbelievable.
That's leg
He
day,
could shoot
bro.
lotion over his head and hit his own ass cheek just like
That's
she did.
leg day McGee.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is going to end up on a clip somewhere.
Yeah.
Give me Cincinnati minus the 7. Next up, we've got an NFC North matchup. Two teams Minnesota's not dead. Minnesota
Not dead.
needs Green Bay to lose. They need Seattle to lose. A win gets them in.
Green Bay, Seattle, and Tampa Bay.
So they also need Tampa to lose their division.
Or
Okay.
Green Bay and New Orleans. Green
Okay.
Bay, Seattle, and New Orleans.
So they have a number of things that have to happen, that have to be right in order to make it.
Yes.
They need to win, though. Basically, it's where it all starts. It's Detroit minus 3 at home. Addison, 2 of your teams. What are your thoughts here?
Man, Detroit, they're pissed, man. They could have the NFC rolling through Detroit if things went a little bit different.
know.
At least an opportunity if the
Right.
if the 49ers choke.
Which
but
means the Niners would have had to play their starters
Yeah.
this weekend. It
Yeah.
would have been huge.
would have been huge indeed, but instead it's not. But they're going to be playing them anyway. I'm going to go with Detroit minus the 3 because just to finish the season off strong, coming off of a tough loss, Dan Campbell's pissed. These guys are just going to be ready to roll. Sure, it's going to be close because it's Minnesota, NFC North, and maybe the Lions are willing to pull guys late if it's just out of hand. But if it's close, they're going to lock in and try to get a dub rolling into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm all over Detroit minus 3. This is probably my pick of the week. I mean, this, spoiler alert, may or may not be my mortal lock.
Hypothetically, they could get 2
The
seed.
2 seed, yes. If Philly and Dallas both lose and Detroit wins, they are
And they
now
are
the 2
both
seed.
after them.
Yeah, so if Detroit wins, they are sitting in the 2 seed for at least a couple of hours, you know? They need it. They're pissed about how that game went in Dallas. Rightfully or wrongfully, I'm sorry. They had sent 3 linemen up, and the ref said over the loudspeaker, 70 is reported eligible. If I'm the Lions and I hear 70 is reported eligible, I'm like, hold the fuck on. Like,
that's
time
not
out.
what we said.
And if it was correctly announced, everyone's like, oh, Detroit wins that game. No, because you think Dallas wouldn't hear 68 is eligible and just not cover him like they did? He's not an eligible receiver. Right. If they make him eligible, Dallas is like, hey, something's up. Instead, they're like, 70, who's playing right guard on the play, is eligible. They're like, okay, he can't run a route. He's playing guard.
If we want to go down the route of, don't get me wrong, I get it. If you're a Detroit fan, that sucks to lose that way. But let's go down a couple plays prior when Aiden Hutchinson tripped,
and they call it on Dallas.
Instead of it's a game ending,
game over.
First down.
They take knees, game over.
Detroit doesn't even get the opportunity to have this 2-point conversion.
Bingo.
Mumbo jumbo.
Yep.
So let's just pump the brakes. I get it. It's heartbreaking loss.
It sucks.
Sucks to lose and you think, everything in that moment. No, let's just relax. We want to go find comb every single call the refs didn't make.
Exactly.
Don't think we should do that.
No. And also,
Sucks,
Dan Campbell,
but
you just got a penalty. Take the 1 and play for overtime. That tells me he didn't trust his team. Yeah. He's like, I don't trust us to win this game in OT.
Aggressive guy.
He's very aggressive.
Man,
and I'm playing into that this week because I think he wants to just come out and make a statement against Minnesota. I think they are going 3 points is disrespectfully low. Detroit's not playing any backups. They're going all starters. Minnesota's going all starters. Detroit is significantly better than the Minnesota Vikings. This is Detroit by 10 to 15 points. I mean, this is an ass kicking where we're thinking Goff and starters out in the fourth quarter because it's over, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Sage?
I can see that. I absolutely agree. I don't have much to add to it just because of how bad Minnesota has played recently.
Yes.
I mean, we saw them just get absolutely demolished.
Fall apart to the Packers in a playoff-level game.
That was a playoff game right there. They need this to stay alive, and we just saw what they did last week. I don't have any faith in them.
None.
Sorry, Josh Dobbs' magic ran out.
Yeah, Vikings' last win is the Saints, and but with a 3-0 win against the Raiders. So they have a 3-0 win. Other than that, they're on a massive losing streak.
Huge losing streak. Falling apart.
That's tough.
Falling apart. Colin, thoughts on this football game?
One more thing to add to the 2-point conversion, just because why not? I agree. I think you said the trip on Hutchinson, kicking the extra point after the penalty.
Yep.
But how about not sending 3 linemen to the ref?
To try and confuse everybody.
It's like, hey, the ref goes in front of the whole deal like, hey, 70, hey, 70, hey, 70.
Yeah.
Oh, the defense might not hear it over the intercom. Well, what about the ref in their grill?
Right.
Saying, hey, it's 70. How about you just send the one guy to the ref? How about you just send Decker to the ref? Hey, 68, I'm here. Or just not even send anybody.
Right. I do love, not to cut you off, whenever the Dolphins put Christian Wilkins out at fullback, they always make him eligible. He stands there and screams at the ref, "Ref!
Yeah.
Ref!" Like, until he acknowledges that he is eligible, he stands there and screams at him. So, sorry, please.
But yeah, tough way to lose a game.
Yeah.
But there were several different ways it could have gone other than just that specific play. But it does suck. Hey.
Sorry about it.
Confuse the defense.
Sorry about it. Brad Allen doesn't know what's going on.
Came in and been eligible in like 4 different plays throughout the game. So
Welcome,
like, 70's coming
70's
in.
Welcome to the league.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here as a Bears fan. I guarantee you, all 3 of you guys don't need to. But it's like, I have games this year where the Bears lost. Flags, I can go, oh, what about this? What about this? You know, and Bears are making playoffs.
Right.
So let's just...
Huge.
Every single team goes through some bullshit with the refs.
Yep.
And it is trash. But
Sucks. Sorry.
Accept it.
With that specific ref group, though.
Yeah, I know.
Brad Allen's group is bad.
Hey, no playoffs.
Yeah, thank God.
Bye-bye. Yeah, good.
But they did get Pittsburgh-Baltimore, which makes me think the
hilarious.
fix is in for Pittsburgh. Fix is in for Pittsburgh.
Speaking of refs and heartbreaks, Dallas Cowboy fan here, 27 years old, best season I've ever seen. 2014, my only time I've ever gone to Lambeau Field, and Des Bryant catches a fucking fade on 4th and inches.
Yep.
Or actually it was 4th and 2. But 4th and 2,
Still.
catches it, incomplete, Des caught it. Bullshit.
Des
Give me
caught
the
it.
Lions
You were
minus
there?
3. I was there.
He was there.
Yeah.
He was at that
was up
game,
on
dude.
that-
How did I
was
not
up
know
first
that?
He was
up
at
on
the
that
Des
10-yard
Cotty
line.
game.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like,
Massive.
from me to like, probably our cars outside.
I mean, how pumped did you get when he came down with it?
Oh, I was fucking
Oh, I bet you
hysterical.
went insane.
I was hysterical. And then they're
Holy
reviewing it,
shit.
and I'm like, what the fuck are they reviewing?
What are we reviewing? It's a touchdown. Yeah.
And they
Incomplete.
said didn't possess. Oh, everyone's like, oh yeah, didn't no catch.
Great call,
Okay,
great
so
call.
like, yeah, we've been known that rule. Yeah.
God.
It's like catch,
Stupid.
1-2, football move.
Yeah.
Ball
No catch.
juggles a little bit.
It's like, okay.
Terrible.
But then it's
Can I
3.5.
that's-
Packers
Can you
have the
imagine
timeouts.
being there and having your team go
The
through that
closest
shit?
I've ever been, I was at the Mahomes first no-look pass.
Oh, that's
Oh.
cool. That's cool.
That is
But-
cool, though.
That's cool.
That's nothing.
Also, DeMarco Murray had a breakaway touchdown. Then he got punched out from behind.
Ah,
Lost
devastating.
possession on it too. Didn't recover.
You guys got a chance to get some get back
Detroit,
against
yeah,
them
you do.
in the playoffs. If Green Bay wins, you get them. At Dallas, you got a chance to do some get back.
Rodgers just somehow like overtakes
Love.
Jordan.
Love. He's played like him.
Like
He's played
Rodgers
like him.
just like hits some ayahuasca and like
Yep.
the spirit just like
Goes
leaves him.
into Jordan Love. That's possible. That would make
It
me.
is possible.
If that happens, I'm going Green Bay money
Like he
line.
burst the demon child,
Yeah.
Sanus Baratheon.
Well,
Goes just kills Dallas.
Oh my God! All right, we gotta move on. Let's go. AFC South
Man, you gotta
matchup.
watch Game of Thrones.
I know, I
Yeah.
do. Jacksonville at Tennessee. Line right now is Jacksonville minus 3.5. Trevor Lawrence condition for this game up in the air still. Questionable moving forward. They're not sure. CJ Beathard looked pretty good against Carolina last week. He looked okay. Carolina sucks. He looked okay. Interesting fact on this one, I'll give you guys a little help maybe. Tennessee in December and January last 2 years, 1-10. Unfortunately, their one win was a Dolphins choke job, which potentially cost us the division.
Yes.
Unbelievable. But Jacksonville has everything to play for. Jacksonville wins the division with a win. A loss, and it's like, you need
It's
some
not in
help.
their hands. Yeah, it's
You
not
need
in
some
their
help
hands.
to get in. I'm going with the Jags minus the 3.5 here strictly because of Tennessee's abysmal record these last 2 years in these spots. They choked away the division last year and let Jacksonville come back and steal it from them. The Tennessee Titans are just not very good anymore, unfortunately. They're done. Jags are still playing for something. They need it badly. They need it badly. Give me the Jags minus the 3.5 on the road. Sage.
So it's not going to change your opinion because your opinion is going to be even more solidified. But about 5 minutes ago, Ian Rappaport tweeted out, Ryan Tannehill is starting this game.
Oh,
Will Levis
yes.
is not playing. His season is over after a somewhat promising rookie year.
Yeah.
Will Levis get
Get
better
the
in the
chance.
offseason.
Yeah.
But Jacksonville, obviously, they have been going through their own woes recently.
Yes, they
CJ
have.
Beathard has not been showing up as
He's
much
not
as
good.
you'd like him to.
Yeah.
Obviously, they won to an over, absolutely abysmal game
Yeah.
by the Panthers.
Yeah.
Ask David Tepper about it. He'll tell you about it.
They
It's
are
$300,000 less rich.
What a way to spend $300,000 throwing a drink on a fan.
That's
What a
wild.
way.
That's wild.
Unbelievable.
Literally, ran away, too, right after.
Yeah.
You're a bitch, man.
He is.
He
He
is
is.
a bitch.
He's going to be the next Dan Snyder. I can see
Yeah.
it already.
Oh, God.
But aside from that, obviously, Tennessee, you already mentioned the record. That was actually something I was going to bring up. And Jacksonville, they got something to play for. Hopefully, Trevor Lawrence can play, get one more game in there before the playoffs. Please knock off the Browns before you get in there. Before they get
that would be huge.
I would love that.
You need that to happen.
Trevor Lawrence, I need you, man.
Need him bad to show up. 2 weeks in a row, he can do it.
Yeah, give me Jacksonville in this one as well.
Jacksonville in that one. All right, I like it. Colin.
Tennessee, 0-5 in division.
Uh-oh.
Are they going to go defeated in their division? Vrabel's cussing out reporters.
I'm tired of fucking losing.
Got anything else? I'm taking Tennessee at home.
Is this...
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not.
I'm just taking Tennessee at home.
Just straight
home
up.
Division. Take with me, Nate.
Home division dog.
Ryan Tannehill.
It is the prophecy child.
We're getting a finger roll. I'm betting anytime Tannehill touches.
I would love a finger roll in this
I didn't
one.
think about this, but Cincinnati's also 0-5 in division this year.
Yeah, they are. They're playing for their division. One win in the division, not for the division.
Yeah.
One win in the division.
Both
0-5.
of them.
Yeah, Colin's
Also,
playing the
I love
odds.
the 3.5 hook, too.
Yeah, 3.5 hook is nice. It's just, I think if Trevor Lawrence is announced a starter, I think this line moves, obviously. But if we don't know, man, how can you trust C.J. Beathard, who against a very bad Carolina defense threw for 178 yards, no touchdowns, no picks? Like, meh. What a boring-ass game.
I feel like this is a weekend that Vegas is just going to feast.
Just make a shit ton of money.
Because there's so many of these lines where it's like Pittsburgh -3. Oh, they have to win in.
Yeah.
Or like Houston, Indy. I guess that's,
Pick 'em.
But like Jacksonville, 3.5. You're like, Tennessee has nothing to play for other than worsening their own pick.
All the suckers are going to be all over Jacksonville. Consider me
and
suckers.
Houston as well. It's like 98% of the public's
It's
on
on
Houston
Houston.
money. So it's
like,
Colts are
I
winning.
think
Colts are
Tennessee,
winning.
I would not be shocked if Tennessee won this game outright.
Ooh.
I seriously would not. I mean, it sounds crazy. But
It sounds wild.
Sounds insane.
it's just
Sounds
how
borderline
much,
dumbass pick
how
of the
much is that pick going into Jags have to win versus the Jags are just the better team?
Yeah, true. True.
I don't know. There's a reason I'm last in our picks. Just listen to my rationale every week.
He's talked himself right into it. I love it. Addison.
You said last week Beathard had a really average game, but domination.
Yeah, they crushed 26-0.
And that's what Jacksonville wants to do. They want to run the ball, keep the ball out of the air a lot, but they obviously want to throw with Lawrence. But this is a career-defining moment, at least as of right now, for Lawrence, in my opinion. Got to play, got to win. Yeah, for
For Ryan
If the Jags don't win their division,
career-defying moment.
this is a mega collapse, and I understand the injury. Don't care. Mega collapse. You're 8-3. You have the division locked up, and now it's coming down to Week 18. Must win. I am taking the Jags minus the 3.5. I think it'll be Lawrence strictly because he toughed it out through the first injury. If he can go, he will go because they need their quarterback, and they got to get this win. And they're coming off a great win, at least 26-0 domination start to finish. Obviously, was a little closer early, but still a lot of ground game. They can do that again this week. Tannehill blows. But is Derrick Henry going to be able to do something crazy? Don't know. Minus 3.5 Jacksonville. Get into the playoffs. Thank you very much.
Take one of those spots away.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, big game here. Two teams that are horrible teams. Two teams that will probably have new coaches next year. I think. We'll see what happens with the Jets and Robert Saleh. I just don't know how you can run it back. I don't know. We'll see. But Jets going to the Patriots. Patriots line right now minus 1.5. Patriots home favorites. Jets have announced it will be Trevor Siemian starting at quarterback. He started for them against the Browns, and it looked about as you would expect it to look against the Browns. The Browns are a good fucking team. And the Jets are just looking at the Browns, and it's like, damn, that could have been us. Why didn't we call Joe Flacco?
Yeah.
Why did we say Zach Wilson's our guy for the year? I think Zach Wilson's played his last game as a Jet. I think they try and move on. I don't know why you hang on to him. You continually bench him. You continually put him behind the worst offensive lines in the NFL, and then you use him as a scapegoat. When the team's bad, we're benching our QB. We're moving on. We're going to Tim fucking Boyle because he can move this offense better. Wrong.
Even worse.
It's significantly worse with Timmy in there. I just don't know what they're doing, and it makes me grin. And then obviously the Patriots suck. They have no talent anywhere. Truthfully, they're horrible. But they're favorites at home. Addison, who are you taking in this game and why? Remember, Patriots have won how many straight? Like 15 or 16? I think it's like 8 years worth. I don't think the Jets have beaten the Patriots since 2015.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yep.
Yeah, it's been a long while.
It's been a minute.
And the Patriots right now holding the number 2 pick.
They
so
are.
They're
They
in a
need
position
to
where
lose.
a win by Bill sort of fucks them.
Which he wants to.
Give me those Jets, Jets.
Jets, Jets.
Yeah, Jets, Jets.
That's my favorite thing. In some of the videos where you're taking them, you're like, yeah, I'm going to go Jets, Jets, Jets.
Yep, I love it, man. I mean, it's just classic. But
Gets me every time.
Trevor Siemian and the Jets offense surprised me, at least looking like an NFL-level offense can do something, and that's more than what they've had all year. I mean, he threw 45 times last week, and the game was somewhat close after the amazing start by the Browns.
Yeah, 34 points in the first half.
Great start. But just in a weird win, screw the Jets over, hurt Aaron Rodgers next year draft pick. Jets are going to get a dub here, or at least cover the 1.5. Who knows if they get the dub, I guess.
True, it could be a 1-point game. That's very true.
Could be a very close 1-point game. But give me Breece Hall having a good game. Garrett Wilson's going to catch like 6 for 80.
He needs something to get to 1,000 yards, or I don't know. He's got something where he's like closing in on something impressive for the Jets in their history. Because he's over 1,000 yards. Maybe he needs 7 catches for 100 catches.
Okay, well he'll get that.
He'll get that.
Give me 7 then for 80.
God, I just don't know. I do think this will be Belichick's last game as head coach. I truly think that next year their head coach is either going to be Gerard Mayo or Brian Flores. I think that'll be the Patriots head coach next season. That would be hilarious.
I've heard his name. I saw his name. Like those two, Mayo and
I would love
Flores.
I would
And
love
then you
it.
see McDaniels, and you're like, good lord,
It's like
really?
not
man?
again. I would love it personally.
Kraft loves him like a son.
He does. Bill Belichick doesn't lose to the Jets, and it'd be funny for him to spite the Patriots in his last game as head coach for them. It would be total Bill Belichick to be like, all right, like, you guys are going to fire me after I've won you 6 Super Bowls. I get it. My time's done. But I'm not going to help you.
Yeah.
I don't care about you next year. You're dead to me officially.
Yeah, you want a quarterback, go trade.
Right. Yep. You go. You're going to have to trade up then. I'm sorry. Like, I could totally see Bill Belichick doing something like that. He's not this nice guy who's going to go out with a wave and giving Robert Kraft a hug. No. Bill Belichick doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about your family. He doesn't care about anything. He hardly even likes his own sons. I'm going with the Patriots here because they don't lose to the Jets, and it's a spite pick. I think that the Jets want to lose too. They're 6-10. What do they have to play
Not to
for,
ramble
you know?
too much about the Patriots, but man, that's going to be real shitter for them when he goes somewhere for 5 years and gets the all-time record in a weird-ass
on another team
jersey,
Yep.
little
The
vest
schedule
on.
maker's going to make sure it happens against the Patriots.
Oh, probably
Yeah, they will.
too.
Yeah.
Probably will too.
He'll go to the Bucs and coach them next year when they fire Todd Bowles.
God, can you imagine? He goes to the Bucs too.
That'd be hilarious.
I'd shit myself.
But I'm gonna have to take New England here at home, -1.5. I don't really have many rationale reasons behind it, other than I think Bill Belichick will just continue to outcoach Robert Saleh.
Yeah.
Sage.
All right. I'm gonna roll with.
There we
JTS,
go. There's our
Jets,
first
Jets.
difference.
There it is.
Boy.
And here's why.
JTS,
all right?
Jets.
And it's nothing for. I just want a poetic ending.
Sure.
And the poetic ending comes. It starts over 20 years ago when Bill Belichick accepts a job with the New York Jets.
And
And then
13 days
doesn't-
later, resigns.
Doesn't continue with the New York Jets. And I think the Jets are going to be the ones to really put them out of their misery. You know,
Send
and
them
say,
off.
you know what? We'll send you off the way you deserve to be sent
Yep,
off.
I like it.
You know, since 2015 they haven't won. This is the game that they're going to win. Send Bill Belichick into the horizon.
Okay. I like it.
I like
Send
it.
him off with a loss. I love it. Colin, thoughts on this game?
I do have a thought, and I said this on Sunday. I'm fascinated with how the human brain works. I wish I could have mine studied while I'm alive, so I
True.
can see how I jump to conclusions.
Uh-huh.
Thought just jumps in my head. Obviously, next year the AFC East plays NFC North.
Mhm.
Jets would play. Rodgers would
Yes.
maybe go to NFC North rival or old home. I'm interested in how that all works out. As I said, it has nothing to do with this game. Packers 8-8, Vikings and Bears both 7-9.
Mhm.
If the Bears beat the Packers and the Vikings beat the Lions, they all would have the same overall record, same division record, same conference record, same head-to-head record.
So it comes down to strength of victory.
Okay, I wonder who'd be the 3 seed between those. Hopefully it's not Minnesota. At least send Rodgers back to Green Bay. Or
Yeah,
back
come
to
on.
Chicago.
Well, if we play the NFC, no, we don't play the full NFC North. It's just that's our
the third place.
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they would match up as a third place team. The AFC
Yes.
East is a third place team. The NFC North. So Rodgers maybe would have to go to one of those teams.
That would be awesome.
So
Sorry,
he's not the
human brain.
Bears.
I have no idea how my thought immediately went to that scenario.
I respect it.
But give me the Patriots here in this game. I think Belichick didn't sign with them, and their revenge was just getting dicked down for 8 years on the way out the door.
So right now, Green
Give
Bay.
me the Patriots 17.
Right now, the
straight wins.
Vikings are ahead of Chicago based on win percentage over common opponents.
And there's no way Minnesota could be better than Green Bay.
No.
So it's just locked in Minnesota.
It's locked in Minnesota as the 3. Yeah.
Well, what is Minnesota's record? Because if they
7-9.
lose,
If they lose and the Bears win, then Bears
Who's
would be
that?
the 3. But the Bears might even be the 2.
Yeah, I know. Like there's a hype.
Maybe the 3.
Yeah.
I hope that's the scenario, and it's
boy.
Packers. Please don't let Rodgers come over to the Bears and play us next year and beat
He's
us.
gonna be like, oh, back at
Please.
Because they'd be even team. They'd be equal records in division. They'd both be 3-3. Same conference record. No, Bears would win. Bears would be the 2 seed because they'd be 7-5 within
Go
conference.
Bears
Yeah.
and go Lions.
And go Lions.
And go Lions.
Yes.
Aha.
Okay. So we go back to Green Bay in that
Oh,
instance.
go
come
Colts.
on.
And
No.
go Colts.
No.
Go Colts.
Come on.
But I'm taking the Patriots.
Patriots. All right. Excellent.
story short.
Glad we got to that.
Yes.
Not a single thing about Patriots Jets. Just
No.
Rodgers playing.
Belichick is going out the door, just
Middle
snapping
fingers
the
high.
Jets,
Yep,
as
beating
he
the
always
Jets, doing
does.
his thing. I like it. Next up is a game I do not like very much because it's 2 teams that I just can't figure out apparently. Atlanta sucks. I was the only one to take them last week against the Bears. You're all welcome for that. And I think you even mortal locked it. You're welcome. God, I'm so nice. This one, Atlanta at New Orleans. Playoff spot on the line, potentially.
For both these teams.
For both these teams. If Atlanta
Atlanta?
wins and Tampa Bay loses, Atlanta wins their division.
Oh,
Isn't that gross?
please do not let that happen for Atlanta's fan base. They cannot. Arthur Smith would stick around.
Yeah, he would. He would definitely stick around. I have been hating on the Saints all year. Saints went out and played really well last week against Tampa Bay.
I said it. Even
Played
I don't know if I picked
really,
them, but I
really
said it.
well.
I said, how? Why does
I
this
think
all
I
make
was the only
sense?
one on the Saints.
I was like, why?
I
why
think
is
Colin
this
was the
line
only one
this
on the
way?
Saints. Was it in New Orleans?
Nope.
It was in
No.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Colin's the only one on the Saints. We were all on Tampa.
God.
So there's only 2.5. The line
Yeah.
didn't make any sense.
Because they clapped
They
them
could've
in New
locked it up.
Orleans
Yeah.
too.
Could've locked it
earlier
up.
this
Could've locked
year.
it up.
And that's their division.
The current line is Saints -3, so Vegas is saying it's a pick 'em. We don't know. I will say I'm going with the Saints, and I don't normally go with the Saints, but I'm going with the Saints because Atlanta 4-11 against the spread of their last 15 games. Terrible. Just terrible. And I just don't trust Arthur Smith to do anything good anymore. I just can't handle him. I can't wait for him to be fired on Monday when they lose this game and don't make the playoffs. And they were like just completely out on Lamar Jackson. I can't stop thinking about how Lamar would look in Atlanta because they would be so good.
They'd be a 2 seed at least.
They
Yeah.
would be so good. And he's like, nah, I like Desmond Ridder. Give me the Vietnam vet. I understand paying honor to service. I get it. But you don't have to give him a job. You have to make him a starter.
Okay, but if they had Lamar, they'd still start Heineke.
I know
Like-
because he doesn't know what he's doing because he doesn't like star players. Again,
He'd still be like, you know what, we're going to put Lamar in a wide receiver. And
Yeah, it's
Heineke.
a Wildcat game because
Wild.
our best players are best off the ball.
Right.
As decoys.
Yeah.
Saints have won 3 of their last 4 with their only loss being an 8-point loss to the Rams in LA. Saints are hot. Falcons are not. Give me the Saints -3. Sage?
I'm rolling with the Saints as well. Atlanta's just a little too wishy-washy for me. And I
Mm-hmm.
think even the Saints are a little more milquetoast. It's kind of my same theory for Indianapolis.
Boring.
They're more consistently normal,
Yeah.
I guess, more
Yeah.
consistently mid than Atlanta, which is either a great team out of
Or
nowhere with a top 10
trash.
defense,
Yep.
and Desmond Ridder can throw for 300 yards sometimes.
Sometimes, somehow.
Or they're absolutely trash and Bijan gets 4 yards
Yep.
for no reason.
Yeah.
So I think the variance is just too high for me to pick Atlanta right now. I'm going to go with New Orleans right here. They have a solid defense, and they don't know how to use their weapons in Atlanta, so
No.
seems to work out.
I mean, you look at the Falcons' last 4 games. They're 1-3 with losses to the Bucks, Panthers, a victory over the Colts for some stupid reason, and then a 20-point loss to the Bears last
Yeah.
week. I mean, Bears have been hot, but Falcons just can't get it done when it matters. They lost to the Titans. They've lost to the Cardinals. They've lost to the Panthers.
Yeah.
Those are 3 of the worst teams in the NFL.
This could be 2 new coaches next year.
Could be.
year.
This could be a
Dennis
game.
Allen hasn't done anything
No,
special.
no,
No.
he has not impressed at all. Colin, thoughts on this game?
Both these teams are better at home than on the road. Obviously, I understand Atlanta got shit pumped last week by Chicago, but driving snow makes me wonder about Caleb Williams as well.
Yeah,
From the
true.
South,
Coming
went to
from
LA.
nice warm
How does he
places.
play in the driving snow in Buffalo in December?
Yeah.
That's how you're judged.
Yep. How will you
Um,
play in the snow
I love
in
every time
December?
you say that.
So stupid.
I'm going to take Atlanta here because my picks, I'm already in the shitter. And I think this could
Try
be
to make
another
up some
game
games.
where it's like Saints have to win, right?
Right?
They have to win, right?
It's only 3 points somehow. Falcons beat them earlier
I
by
can see
9
Atlanta scoring 3 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
if they use Bijan.
I can just see them just running it.
It'll have to be all
Johnny
out here.
Smith's going to get one.
Johnny Smith will get a rushing tud.
And we give a lot of shit to Atlanta because they were very vocal about not winning Lamar. But
Yeah.
what about
The
New
Saints,
Orleans?
right? They go out and give Derek Carr a fat contract.
Ready and cap hell, you might as well give it to Lamar.
Right? Instead of giving Derek Carr 4 years,
They
160.
could cut Lamar, or they could cut Derek Carr this offseason.
True, and save-
still be the number 1 over the cap.
Jesus. They've been like that forever.
It's just so funny how many teams. I mean, we've harped on too much, but give me Atlanta here in this spot.
I like it. Addison.
Yeah, Nate, you said it. Saints are hot, Falcons are not. Everybody's rolling, and that's why I'm taking Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Because you said it. Saints are hot. They should dominate this game. Atlanta, what the hell was that performance last week? Absolutely diced by Fields and Moore.
Diced.
Would you say it? You just say it.
It's true.
But guess what? This one ain't going to be snow, and this one ain't going to be outside. It's going to be inside a dome, on turf. Atlanta plus the 3 to shock some people. Colin, I agree. I think this could be a game where Atlanta's offense puts up a lot of points. They moved the ball well against the Bears. A lot of wind made Young Hoku miss 2 field goals. He doinked one and straight missed one short from 50. And it's like he's got the leg to kick that. So weather was an impact, and it hurt Atlanta early. So give me Atlanta plus the 3 in a game that keeps their division hopes alive, but not for long.
No, I mean, their game will end at the same time as this next
Yeah, I was
game.
going to say the next game is when the
Tampa
division
Bay
hopes
at
end.
Carolina. So this one, Tampa Bay on the road, minus 4.5 points going to Carolina. Carolina coming off of another loss. No surprises there. Wrapping up the number 1 overall pick for your Chicago Bears. Thank you, Carolina. Well done. Well done. If you ain't first, you're last.
Yeah.
So if you're going to make playoffs, let's get the number 1 pick. And your team isn't the one getting the number 1 overall pick. It's a win-win.
I really hope I get that last pick.
Yeah, well, yeah, first.
Really like that
First
last.
or last. Yeah, we I think the 3 of us would like the last pick, and Addison's going to get the
Yeah,
first
I'd take
pick. It
last
works out
pick.
well.
I would
Yeah,
like
true.
the first and the last pick.
Well, yeah, if I could
Imagine
pick.
Bears won
I mean,
Super Bowl this year.
Bears won
and
Super
then
Bowl,
number
they
one
get
pick.
first pick, last pick. That'd be hilarious.
When's
That'd be
Never
fucking
happened.
wild.
Definitely
Never,
has never
yeah.
happened.
That's
All right, line this one minus 4.5. Sage, what are your thoughts, feelings on this football game?
I have no thoughts and feelings for the Carolina Panthers because they didn't score at a single point last week against a pretty bad Jacksonville Jaguars
Yeah.
team as of recent. They're even playing C.J. Beathard, and they obviously he doesn't play defense, but come on,
I know, it's like,
come on,
Come
guys. The Panthers, I even picked them to win a game like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I told myself I'm never doing that again. I'm sticking to it. And I probably won't do it again next year either because they look that fucking atrocious.
That bad.
I don't know who they can even attempt to pick up that will change my mind in the offseason. That's how bad this team is right now.
There's nothing there.
Give me Tampa Bay. They have some weapons. I know they can score points, even though I don't know if they can score many points. I don't know if Carolina can score any points.
yeah.
Agreed.
Tampa.
I got a nice little bet here for this game. Mike Evans to get 1,300 yards and 15 touchdowns on the season. He's 70-2. I mean,
Okay, he can
against
get
a
the 2.
bad
Against a
Carolina
terrible
team,
Carolina.
and Baker throwing it up. You never know. I might be looking at that, but
Okay.
I'm gonna take Tampa Bay minus the 4.5. I think they're gonna win the division. Baker gets a playoff game at home, but Carolina last week, frustrations boiling to the top. Bryce Young throwing the iPad down on the sideline. One of the first times where he's really looked like super frustrated
showing
through all
some
the
emotion
bullshit.
finally,
Yeah, and
which
it's
is
like, hey,
good.
that's fine though. I mean, at the end of the day, I'd be pissed too, man. You guys suck, and you're the quarterback of the
You
team.
guys suck.
It's your team,
So
man.
holy.
Yeah, they're terrible.
But Tampa Bay minus 4.5. It'll be close. I think this one will be closer. Just
Me too.
it's a chance to screw with your division. Last game of the season, and for Carolina, obviously number 1 pick's locked. They don't give a shit about their pick. They're looking to improve next year, and a win going into the offseason would be massive just for the collective unit.
Yeah.
But it ain't gonna matter. I don't actually see them covering this, but I'm taking Tampa Bay minus the 4.5, sneaking out a dub.
Yeah, Carolina, worst point differential in the NFL. They are negative 171. They've only scored 236 points through 16 games.
That's
Wow. But they took Tampa to a 3-point game. They lost by 3. But I think Carolina's wrapped up. I think they're done. I think the players have quit. They've already booked all their vacations for next weekend. Cabo, Cancun. I'm sure they all can't wait to get out of that stadium and not worry about it. I'm going Tampa minus the 4.5 again because, once again, another team that needs it. And again, this is probably a game where Vegas takes all their money, wins all their money that they need because everyone's going to be on Tampa Bay in this game because they need it to win the division. They lose this game and all of a sudden they're sweating the other games. They're sweating. So I'm going Tampa here. I'm going with shake and bake. I'll go Bucks minus 4.5. Colin.
I'm on Tampa as well.
Shit.
Another Pro Bowl snub, I thought, was Rashad White.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely made
Yes.
the Pro Bowl,
Agreed.
had a fantastic year, and I agree. I think Carolina's all but checked out as well.
Yeah,
There's nothing that anybody in that building can say or do other than, hey, money's on the line.
Right.
To, motivate anybody. in
right.
the
Who's
locker
got incentives that we're looking for? Who needs a few catches for that?
room. Yeah, who's on a contract here? Who wants the next
The
contract?
best case scenario for Tampa Bay in that sideline is to not have to look once at the other scores. If
Yep.
they're looking at scores, that game is
Sweating.
not going well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And Carolina, it's at Carolina. They're going to be playing the
Oh
score
yeah,
so
100%.
big.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Trying to mess with them as
Yeah.
much as they can, which I respect.
I'd do it.
Yeah.
All right, next
I'll
up.
just have a live feed.
Yeah,
at all times.
just play the game
Yeah.
up there. No one's watching the Carolina game anyway.
Pumping crowd noise.
Yes, make it loud.
Whenever somebody in the scenario that Tampa doesn't need
Uh-huh.
does something good.
Yeah.
That would mess with me. That would work. NFC North matchup. Chicago Bears going to Lambeau to take on the Green Bay Packers. Trying to play spoiler. Bears have been hot. Packers coming off of a big win over the Vikings, kind of solidifying that they've got the best odds to get the 7 seed, potentially 6 seed. A Packers win and a Rams loss, and the Packers will be the 6 seed, likely going to Detroit. But we all know that's not going to happen because the NFL would like Stafford to go to Detroit instead, which will make for an awesome football game. Colin, you're going first on this one. Neither of us can pick these 2
you
teams.
Have to go second, then.
Yeah, I'll go second.
Okay.
Yeah. You go first, I go second.
Okay, on the count of 3, same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Green
Packers.
Bay. Oh, no!
Which means you two should definitely take the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, neither of us can pick these games, but Packers need it. Like, the Packers lose and the Vikings or the Seattle Seahawks win, Packers are out.
Yeah.
They have to have it. It's in Green Bay. It's going to be a bad weather game. Bears have nothing to lose, though. It's scary. Can the Bears play? Spoiler. I think that's why it's only a 3-point line. It's why they're calling this game a pick'em.
Yeah.
They basically same record, 8-8, 7-9.
Yep.
The Packers dominated the Week 1 game, but that was back when Eberflus didn't know what he was doing and the offense didn't know what they were doing. I mean, that's final score was what, 40 something, 38-20 in Chicago. Yeah. But it's Week 18. Things have changed. Bears are a different team. Packers are a different team. Can Jordan Love keep going? We're gonna find out what Jordan Love's made of because this is a game for their season here. So I've got to go with the Packers here, and it terrifies me that we're both in the Packers. Sage.
Yeah.
You don't need any other reason to take the Bears other than what me and
Real
Colin
quick
just did.
before
Oh, yeah,
Sage
please.
goes. This has a little bit of deja vu to it.
It does.
A
just
team
like
that has a really, really bad start to the season, wins 5 of their last 7 games, and comes marching into Lambeau, division rival, Week 18.
Chance to eliminate
win and
them.
make the playoffs, lose and you might go home. They lost last year.
It's actually how I was going to start this.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
No.
Great.
I appreciate it. No, I
Reading the
appreciate it. I
script.
appreciate it. I was going to start it that way. I mean, what do we know one thing about history? It repeats itself.
It likes to repeat itself.
It likes to repeat itself, you know? We just saw what happened last year. Detroit marched in. They had MCDC saying, we're biting kneecaps off. They said, those motherfuckers ain't getting in either. And they did it, all right? I don't know if Eberflus has that kind of swagger to walk into that locker room and say that same kind of thing. But you know who does? Justin Fields, who's trying to get a job, you know? Yeah. And I don't know. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Justin Fields, Caleb Williams, possible Drake
that will
May
come
thing
up a
all
lot.
offseason. How do you not entertain this idea even more after hearing we want Fields from the fans in Chicago last week? It's absolutely electric. Can't imagine what Justin Fields was feeling on the sideline.
It probably felt
great.
great.
You had to feel so loved, you know? And that's amazing. But I'm going with Chicago just because Green Bay, even though, yes, Jordan Love looked absolutely phenomenal last week against the Minnesota Vikings, who do have a very good defense. Chicago is the hot team right now, you know? DJ Moore's had a fantastic year. Justin Fields is playing like he wants to stay. And not even like he wants to stay, like he deserves to be in this league, starting, competing for a winner, you know? Green Bay, it's very hard because Green Bay has been one of those teams all season where it's right when you think they're good, they're bad.
And then they're bad, yes.
And that happened last week, you know? Last week they were good, you know? But they were also playing the Minnesota Vikings, who they put up 30, but they put up 30 when the other team put up 10 and had no one to really throw the ball, you know? They just got the Twitter notification. Nick Mullins is going to be starting this game with Josh Dobbs as backup.
Ugh. Good
Starting,
Lord.
you mean the Vikings game,
game.
right? Not this
that's
one.
Gross.
That is gross.
And that about the same thing last week. You know, like Nick Mullins ended up finishing that game because they couldn't score points.
Yeah.
Green Bay is finally playing a very good team right now. I will say very good because
they're
balling, man.
Playing great.
They're 7-2 in their last 9 starts.
I think so, man.
No, they weren't 0-7, were they?
No,
5-2 in the last 7.
Yeah.
Both losses.
Or chokes.
Choke
Collapses.
Exactly.
7
Could
straight.
potentially be 7.
They should be
quarter
9-7. They should be 9-7.
Lost to the Browns and Joe
And
Flacco.
Lions.
And then the Lions.
And
Which they
Jalen Johnson dropped a game-winning pick 6.
Yep.
Yes.
And he's your best corner.
And it's like, damn, man. Heartbreaking.
Could've
Top 5
been.
corner in the league.
Yeah, he
That's
is.
a few fluky
Yeah.
losses
This year.
where Green Bay is just it's escaped.
This year only.
Yeah, Green Bay is a tale of two teams. It's exactly like you
Go
said.
with Chicago plus the 3.
And you're doing it because me and Colin took Green Bay, you fucker. Like, when you look at the Packers' last 4 games, right? You got 2 wins and 2 losses.
Yep.
A loss to the New York Giants. A loss at home to the Bucs by 14 where Baker Mayfield was literally perfect.
And it was a Tommy DeVito, like, low-key, great drive to win that game against the Packers, too.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
on Monday night.
Monday night
Yeah.
doubleheader.
On the side.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Saquon fumbled the game away, and they lost.
Yeah, and they still lost. And then a victory over the Panthers where Bryce Young kind of lit them up.
Took them 33-30.
Right, yeah, 33-30. And then last week a domination over the Vikings, 33-10. So it's like, which Packers team are we getting? Are we going to get the team that can put up 33 and look good? Like, Jordan Love's had a good season.
Yeah.
You look at the numbers, everyone, like, if you want to call him a bust, I don't know if you can because he's got nearly 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 11 picks.
The best season by a Bears quarterback if you put
Oh,
him
yeah.
in a
Yes.
different jersey.
And I'm pretty sure Love's, like, last 5 games, it's like 13 touchdowns.
He's been lights out.
13 touchdowns.
He's been lights out.
But he's rolling into the defense that's
He's
turning
playing
over
lights
every
out.
quarterback they play 2 times minimum. And I got to shout out Poles. At the beginning of the year, I was on the train. What was this money spent for? Linebackers were looking great. We had no pressure, so our secondary was getting cooked as well. Well, Montez Sweat gets traded for a second-round pick. Terrible trade. Why would you go pay this guy and get a second-round pick up for him? Well, Montez Sweat has came in, and the Bears' defense has been a top 3 defense straight up in the league since he's been here. Turning the ball over. Most picks in the league, Chicago Bears, which is just shocking. But that's Matt Eberflus' defense. It's turnovers. And that's what they're getting. They're creating pressure with Sweat. So it's going to be interesting to see how Love plays this week against a defense that makes the turnovers happen. And right now, the Packers aren't turning the ball over. So it's going to be damn interesting on that front. Is Love going to continue his success as of late against an extremely hot defense? Then obviously on the offensive side of the ball for the Bears. One little stat, DJ Moore, 8 catches to get 100.
Yep.
Bet that in a parlay. Go bet that straight. He's getting 8 catches. He's at 1,300 yards, so nothing yards-wise I'd touch, but 8 catches for sure. But it's Justin Fields' final, man.
Yeah.
If he's been in school, his whole career so far has been leading up to this one game, and it's hard to say one game make or breaks you, bud, in the league, especially when how you've looked as of late. But if the Bears come out and lay a dud, an absolute dud, it cannot be. This has to be a competitive game. Obviously, Bears winning would be huge for Justin and just the culture, the future of the Bears, getting a massive win to spoil some Packers season. But it's big. If he fails this, it's almost guaranteed gone, I think.
Yeah,
if he comes out and if he scores 7
up.
points and he throws 2 picks, 100 yards, and the offense doesn't look good. With the way we've looked recently, though, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm taking the Bears plus the 3. Give me the points for a team that has the better defense right now. Good luck getting the run game going, Green Bay. Bears' defensive line is going to eat that up. And please, Jordan Love, draw back to pass. I'm expecting 2 turnovers from him, 2 picks, just because of the way the Bears' defense is playing. And offense, please, Bears. Justin Fields' connection with DJ Moore, it's unreal. Those 2 guys, man coverage, good luck. Throw it up. DJ Moore, he might be one of the best man ball catchers one-on-one. Just throw it up. You can look over both shoulders either way. Go make a play. It's like, this is what the Bears needed. This is what we needed. We got it. And so shout out Poles again. He's made all the right moves so far, so at least he's sticking around. Whatever he says goes.
Yeah, Poles is sticking around.
Yeah, what he says goes in my book as a fan. So, and hopefully, at least for me, he keeps with Fields. But this is a big game.
Huge.
Bears plus 3.
Yeah, I like it.
Real quick side note before we move on. I know we got to move. Just how good Jordan Love has been. If I told you the top 6 leaders in passing touchdowns this season before the year, you would tell me like I'm high or like I need to go bet that if I can. Dak, number 1, Brock Purdy 2, Jordan Love, 3rd most passing touch,
30.
Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, Tua, talking about though.
Yeah.
Baker, Tua, and Goff are all tied.
All tied.
So I had to go top 6, not top 5.
Yeah.
I heard one conference had all the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I see 5 of the top 6 all in one. Bunch of big names. Living off name recognition.
And I gotta say, just Fields misses 5 games. He would have had over 3K yards, even if they were all poo-poo. I mean, he's at 2,500 with his last week to go, so he improved statistically. So we'll see though what Bears do.
Yeah,
this is a big game though.
Yeah, huge game for them going forward. Crazy to think that this game, if the Bears had won this game and the Vikings lost, and the Seahawks lost, and the Bucks lost, Bears would be in the playoffs.
I know.
The Bucks lost early in the year gives them the tiebreaker over you no matter what.
The G-men, the G-men beating or not beating the Packers. Mason Crosby fucked us all those years in Green Bay.
Yep.
Has a chance to beat them or win last week against the Rams, I'm pretty sure, for the Giants, and he misses a field goal left.
Misses it, yep. To fuck
God
the Bears
damn
one
it,
more
Mason
time.
Crosby.
Also, one last thing.
To
my one last thing.
Yes.
I saw the Rams are re-signing Brett Maher.
Oh, wow.
Which is just hysterical because they had him to start the year and they cut him.
Cut him.
Trash.
Terrible.
And they're like, you know what, the playoff run, we're going to go, just come on back.
That's perfect. I love
Isn't
that.
hilarious?
Well, it's because Mason Crosby can't kick a 50-yard field goal.
True. But Brett Maher in the playoffs make me nervous.
Yeah, can he hit a 30-yard?
Can he hit a 30-yarder in the playoffs? Right, yeah. It's going to be dicey.
I got a guy for them. His name's Cody Park.
There we go.
Oh, my God.
Big game guy. Right
Let
there.
Parkey take the extra points.
Let Parkey cook.
Let Maher take the field goals.
Bingo.
Yeah.
I'm in. All right, next up. God damn it.
I'm totally kidding.
All right, next game is a game that truly doesn't matter for anything.
No.
One of the few games that doesn't matter. It's Denver at Las Vegas. Both teams starting backup quarterbacks. Denver's kind of probably going to get in trouble from the NFLPA because you can't tell a player, if you don't change your contract, we're going to bench you. You can't do that. I'm sorry. That completely violates like every rule in the NFL.
Should have just not told him that.
Yeah, should have just not told him that. Just benched him.
Just
right.
benched
Just
him.
said, sorry, you're not playing anymore. I'm going Vegas -2.5 here. Home team, -2.5. I like it. I like what they're doing underneath that coach. Give me the Vegas Raiders.
I'm also on Vegas -2.5, and everything I see on social media, I'm so connected to the league.
Right,
They're texting me
in.
individually, but it sounds like Pierce will be back. You know
He
what I
needs to
mean?
be.
It sounds like the brass loves
should
him,
be.
and just the turnaround. Clearly, players bought in, and we said it last year. They choked, letting what was his name,
Rich Bisaccia.
Rich Bisaccia.
Bisaccia. Yeah, they choked letting him go.
Yes.
Everyone had bought in last year that they have the opportunity to not do it this year. So give me the Raiders -2.5, and then Antonio Pierce is the extended head coach Monday.
As he should be.
Yep.
I agree. Sage.
Yeah, I agree with that. Absolutely 100%. Obviously, does Denver's players even want to play for them right now because of all this bullshit happening? What free agents want to go to Denver now?
None.
Hey, if they pay you and you struggle a little bit,
They're gonna
you're
tell you
gonna
to
get
change
cut
your
or
contract or they're
benched,
gonna
and then
bench you.
you're gone.
Right.
It's like, okay.
But Las Vegas does have something to play for, and that is Antonio Pierce.
Yeah.
They're saying, you know what? Let's solidify this man's
Yeah,
job right
this is
now.
our guy.
Let's get it going. Max Crosby, I expect him to kind of go off right here.
Well,
and say,
Maybe
you
his
know
last
what?
game as a Raider.
Playing for my, ooh,
Could be.
I don't know
2
about
firsts
that.
and Max Crosby and a player for the one.
For the one?
I'd do that.
That'd be wild.
Give me Maxie and Devontae and a couple firsts.
Oh my god.
I mean, they're gonna suck anyway. Right?
Yeah.
Great.
That'd be
Wild.
nuts.
Come on, baby.
Nuts.
I like it.
So Raiders for Sage.
Raiders.
For Sage. Colin.
I'm going to take the Raiders as well. We're going to see the Black Forces on Antonio Pierce, and we're going to see Backwoods and Max Crosby in the locker room.
Yes.
Yep. I like it. All right, moving on to a game that has some playoff implications. Philly at the Giants. Right now the line is Philly on the road -5.5. Giants are playing to go to Cancun and Mexico and the Caribbean. Philadelphia needs to win. Like, they absolutely have to win this game if they even want to have a chance at the division right now. One team is 11-5. The other team is 5-11. Addison, who are you taking in this game?
I know these teams played opposite fields. Philly was home, but the spread just being double digits now to 5.5 just shows how far Philly's fallen.
Fallen.
If Philly was as dominant as they should be, I don't care that they're on the road. This would be 9.5, 10, and it's 5.5, which is actually a little bit concerning. Which is at this point scary to say. I'm still taking the Eagles though. I think a touchdown's just not enough points. I mean, this is the 18th time I've said this. Can I see something from this Eagles offense all game
I don't know if
long,
we're
start
going
to
to.
finish? And it's just we're going into the playoffs, boys. And I understand, like, you'd been there, done that after last year, but got to get a win going into the playoffs against a division rival with a chance, like you said, Nate, at winning the division if Washington can come up huge. But give me Philly -5.5, and not feeling confident at all about that, which is scary.
The crazy thing is that the difference in this football, in the Eagles game and the Cowboys game, the difference between the 2 seed and the 5 seed is 2 home games, or you have to go to Tampa Bay probably to take on Baker Mayfield, who's been hot, and then your prize for that is you're going to go to San Francisco and take on
enjoy
the
the
49ers.
Niners.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Good luck going through San Francisco, idiots.
And then if you win that game.
Right, then if you win that game, you're probably going to Dallas to take on Dallas, who doesn't lose at home.
Yeah.
Literally undefeated at home this season. So that is tough. I think the Giants are going to win this football game. I'm taking the G-Men +5.5. They played this game in Philly, and it was an 8-point game. Philadelphia is down on themselves. A.J. Brown is apparently a locker room issue they're talking about.
Split?
Locker room is, and we're showing right now that Sirianni has to have great coordinators. Last year, Gannon, great defensive coordinator. Shane Steichen, fantastic offensive coordinator. They bring in Sean Desai. They bring in whoever their current, Brad Johnson, OC, I think. No, I don't know who it is. Either way.
Brian or Brad, I can't ever get it right. Who's the guy in Detroit?
Ben Johnson.
So it's Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson, yep. So Brian Johnson there, like, these guys aren't getting it done. We're seeing that Shane Steichen kind of made this offense. Giants coming off of a 1-point loss to the Rams in the Meadowlands. I like them to beat the Eagles. I think the Eagles will probably not expect Dallas to falter. And it's like, okay, we're the 5 seed. Like, Eagles can only be the 5 seed or the 2 seed. That's it.
Yeah.
I think they expect they expect them to win, and I think the Eagles are like, this game doesn't matter as much. Give me the Giants +5.5.
And, hey, I mean, not to go on a too tangent, but it's why fans might be calling for Sirianni,
Yeah.
and maybe it is legitimate because this team was average at best. When he was calling plays his first year, Steichen took over. They finished the year making the playoffs, lose to the Bucks.
But still,
But then
figured it
he
out.
calls plays all next year, and they make the Super Bowl. And obviously Steichen leaves, and holy shit, the offense takes a massive step back.
Yeah.
And maybe there is a little bit of claim to those
locker room issues.
that job, you know?
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe. Give me the G-Men. Sage.
I'm going to take the G-Men as well.
Attaboy.
And I'm going to take them just because 2 weeks ago we saw them on Christmas Day lose by 8 points. Also known as the Tommy DeVito bench game.
Yeah, it's over.
So say Tommy DeVito doesn't get benched. Say Tyrod Taylor starts that game. Tyrod Taylor was the one that actually put up all those points after DeVito went over forever, throwing picks all over the place. Put in Tyrod. Put in Saquon, good game. Put in Philadelphia having one of the worst secondaries, surprisingly, this entire season.
Yeah.
And I think they can compete in this game. If they can control the clock. I don't think they're going to win it. Truthfully, I think Philadelphia does have a lot to play for.
Pulls it out, they do.
But if they win by a field goal, that's okay with me.
Yeah.
The Giants.
Yeah, and real fast fact for you, this might be Saquon's last game as a Giant.
Yeah,
I think he's not going to come out and go as hard as he can. Last game as a Giant, why not? We got to go out on a high note. Colin, 2 of your favorite teams in the NFL.
Yeah, 2 of my favorite teams. MetLife Stadium, if you wanted to do your thing. I'm
not wishing on that,
not
right?
Hoping or wishing or
MetLife Stadium's MetLife Stadium, man.
But MetLife, if you wanted to do your thing, Devonta Smith in a walking boot this week's not a great sign.
Not a
got
great
rolled
start.
upon late in the game last week. If I'm the Eagles, I'm just saying sorry. You're just
you're not playing at all.
You're sitting out, pal. They definitely need him for any sort of run moving forward.
And you can make A.J. Brown happy by just
forcing him the ball 10 times.
Yeah, exactly. You talk about that game a few weeks ago. Philly was up 20-3 at halftime. Fumble out of the half because the Giants a short field touchdown, pick 6 on a slipped receiver touchdown.
Yep.
I think Philly's more of the 20-3 over the Giants than the fumble touchdown and the pick 6 touchdown. Although they haven't shown me that this year.
Right.
They've been susceptible to those turnovers. But I'm going to take Philadelphia on the road because why not?
Sure, I like it. All right, next up, NFC West matchup. Seattle Seahawks going to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Seahawks need to win and a Green Bay loss to make the playoffs. Arizona coming off of a massive victory over Philadelphia. I mean, could not have been any bigger. Wasn't this game in Arizona, too, when they beat the Eagles last? No, it was in Philly. They beat Philly in Philly. That's right. The Eagles fans were booing them. Arizona kind of frisky. They have been all season. Kyler Murray had 3 tuds, 1 pick. Out-dueled Jalen Hurts last week with a significantly worse supporting cast. I think, screw it. Give me a home division dog. No, that's too many home teams in a row. Going Seattle. Minus the 3 here. Seattle needs to win and hope Green Bay falls apart, which is possible against the Bears. So I think Seattle thinks we got a realistic shot at the playoff spot here. And Seattle went into Dallas earlier and played them real close. A great game. So I'm going to go with Seattle here to not clinch a playoff spot because I think the Packers, I don't know, maybe clinch a playoff spot. They'll win this game like they're going to clinch a playoff spot. Let's say that. They're going to win this game because they know that they need it.
Yeah.
So give me Seattle. Sage.
Yeah, obviously you already said it. Seattle win, Green Bay lost, Seattle's in.
Yep.
Seattle knows that that's very possible, and
Yep.
I believe... Oh, no, they're playing at the same time. Damn, they did that on purpose.
They did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they absolutely did.
Obviously.
That's why none of the times were posted until this past week.
Yeah.
So that way they could arrange it however they want.
I respect it. But yeah, give me Seattle in this as well. They have so much to play for, and I think Philadelphia last week, it just seems like the wheels are falling off. And Seattle, they've done that the past 2 seasons. Where, they'll have a good year, and then at the end fall apart. We saw that happen last year as well, and they rolled into the playoffs.
As a pumpkin.
I think they'll just kind of roll into the playoffs again. Arizona used up all their magic last week, going into Lincoln Financial. I'll take Geno and Seattle.
I like it. Colin, thoughts on this one?
Must-win game for Seattle, obviously. I like Pete Carroll to get it done and get the boys fired up and take care of business.
Yeah, I agree. Addison.
I'm on Arizona plus the 3.
Trying to pick up some picks on us,
Yep, need a pick here, and I love Kyler Murray, man. What can I say? The guy's a dual-threat athlete and dual-sport athlete.
True. I like it. All right. Next up, AFC West matchup. Chiefs going to the Chargers. Chiefs starters at. Not going to play anybody with any boo-boos. It's going to be Blaine Gabbert starting at quarterback. That's all I need to hear. Give me the Chargers minus 3.5 at home. A bunch of Chiefs backups, and it's Blaine Gabbert, guys. Blaine Gabbert. Give me Easton Stick over Blaine Gabbert. Easton Stick and the Chargers have looked competitive against teams that are needing wins. The Chiefs don't care. They're locked into the 3 seed. Can't go up, can't go down. They're not doing anything. Backups are in. A vanilla game plan coming out. Again, this will be a game where they don't run anything. They don't pull out any tricks. It's going to be, let's run the ball, let's kill the clock, let's get the hell out of L.A. with all of our guys healthy, and let's get ready for whoever we've got coming to Kansas City next week. So give me the Chargers minus 3.5. Sage.
Kansas City, they don't lose against division opponents.
It's true, they don't.
They don't lose against division opponents. That's why I'm going to roll with Kansas City. Obviously, LA, they don't have a home fan base anyways.
No.
It's going to be a Kansas City home game as well. I'm going to roll with them. Blaine Gabbert, I mean, he's competent enough to look like Chad Henne has the past few years when he starts those, Week 18, Week 17 games that they've been throwing him into when they've already locked up their shit.
I like
So I'm going to take that. Obviously, who's he going to throw to? Rashid Rice last week lit up Chidobe Awuzie.
True. He smoked him.
He did. He's like my Madden favorite corner.
I was thrilled with him and Brandon Carr and some other choice
Cowboy. Oh, Brandon Carr, yes.
It's like,
see ya.
okay, Uzier's gone. Oh, darn.
Yeah, shoot. Yeah.
I know. I saw one of those Twitter posts where it's like every NFL fan has just one DB that's cooked them for years. That's in the back of their head always.
It's always Brandon Carr for me.
Oh,
I know. He went to Baltimore.
Yeah. He probably fucked you guys a couple
He
times
did.
too.
I remember it.
I'm going to take Kansas City here in this spot as well. I like the 3.5 for the hook. And we're not going to disrespect Blaine Gabbert, a former first-round quarterback pick, who has 31 passing yards and a 2.8 quarterback rating on the year.
Oh, wow.
0 touchdowns,
You're right.
3 picks.
You're right. That's a good point.
Former first-rounder, 10th
Stats.
overall pick, another great Jags first-round selection in the early 2010s.
Nailed it.
That played there for 3 years and never sniffed a starting position again. But give me Blaine Gabbert here and the Chiefs.
Okay. I like it. Addison.
Who's calling plays this Sunday for the Kansas City Chiefs? I would almost put my life on it's going to be Matt Nagy.
Yep.
So give me those Los Angeles Chargers minus 3.5. Andy Reid's going to be taking the week off as well. I'll be thinking about cheeseburgers all game.
Bingo.
And Matt Nagy's going to be tweaking on the headset, not getting plays until about 14 seconds left on the play clock. So Blaine Gabbert's going to be up there sweating, trying to read that D.
Yeah.
So give me the Chargers minus 3.5. Kellen Moore, feel bad that you have no running backs in that running back room. Austin Eckler's washed. Josh Kelly blows.
Done.
How'd that happen?
Man, it was quick.
Fell
it was a
off
quick
fast.
fall off. And that's why you don't pay RBs. But Chargers minus the 3.5. At least they have Kellen Moore calling plays. But let's get that offensive run game, please.
Yes.
Please.
I like
A.J. Dillon out.
A.J. Dillon out for pass.
I love that even more.
Aaron Jones. Okay.
I love that even more.
Alrighty. Let's get into NFC West matchup. A game that is going to feature a lot of people we don't know. A lot of players you aren't familiar with.
Yeah.
It is going to be no Matt Stafford for the Rams, no Kyron Williams, no Aaron Donald, no Cooper Kupp. For the Niners, it's going to be no Purdy, no CMC, probably no Trent Williams, probably no defensive starters as well. Colin, what are your thoughts on this game?
As I mentioned before we started recording, bingo cards for the season did not have Carson Wentz lining up with Sam Darnold.
No.
I think that's going to be a hilarious headline.
Yeah.
I am going to take San Francisco here. I just think, when's the last time Carson Wentz has played any good? I know Sam Darnold's the same way, but he was okay in Carolina, and he's been there all year as their backup, all preseason and everything, so he's got to know the system. He's even got some playing time this year. So give me Sam Darnold at home. As Sage mentioned earlier, for one of these other teams, you can't bench all 22 starters. You gotta play at least a couple.
Got to play
of them.
some. Yeah.
So I trust the Avengers to throw in the B squad and get it done.
I like it. Sage.
I'm going to roll with the San Francisco 49ers as well. The thing I'm most looking forward to in this game is looking at those 2 third-round D tackles on the Rams, seeing if they're playing and see how they fare without Aaron Donald in the lineup. Are they pretenders because Aaron Donald's taking on double teams, or are they actually good pickups
DTs,
that they grabbed? So I'm looking at that for sure. Hopefully Puka Nacua gets those 29 yards, breaks that rookie record.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say he'll be playing until he catches 4 for 30.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He won't be benched. He'll be a starter that plays all game for sure.
I'm good for that.
Yeah. I'm also on the Niners, minus the 4 points. At home, no Purdy, no CMC, but you've still got, give me Darnold and Elijah Mitchell over Carson Wentz and whoever the Rams trot out at running back. San Francisco only minus 4 at home. San Francisco's team is better coached, I would think. Shanahan and McVay are both really good coaches, but I think Shanahan's a better coach. I like their defense a lot more than I like the Rams' defense. And like you guys have all said, you can't bench everyone. There's going to be starters out there. And the Niners are better than the Rams and in San Francisco. Addison, do it. Go along.
NFC West, McVay owns the Cardinals. Niners own the Rams. So.
Yeah.
But I'm taking the Rams. Give me the guy in the Colts uniform, the Eagle shorts, and the Rams helmet. Carson Wentz playing quarterback. He's been itching for an opportunity all year, and he's finally getting one, baby. I think he's going to come out, have a wonderful 12 for 17.
94 yards.
First half.
50 of them to Puka Nacua.
But yeah, give me the Rams plus 4 in a weird one. Just it's preseason, baby.
Yeah, it really is. I do say the Rams need this one, I would say, because if the Rams lose and Green Bay wins,
I think that they've just
Rams
accepted that they're in, though. Because,
right, they're in the playoff for sure. But, man, I'd much rather go to Detroit than go to Dallas if I'm the Rams. For sure, would much rather go to Detroit. Especially because you've got Stafford, and that'll be like a legacy game for him going against Detroit. He wants it, and I don't think any of the Rams players want to go to Dallas. Like, nobody wants to go to Dallas right now, straight up. Nobody wants to go to Dallas. No. They don't lose there.
And as a Dallas fan, I'd rather the Rams not come to Dallas.
Yeah, you'd much prefer the Packers and Jordan Love.
Rams look a little dangerous right
Rams look a little scary, I agree. All right, next up, biggest spread of the weekend by a lot. It's Cowboys at Commanders. Cowboys minus 13.5 points. That is a lot of points. Big news is Sam Howell will be the starting quarterback for Washington. Yes, he beat Dallas last year, but Dallas last year needed the Eagles to lose at home to the Giants in order to try and win the division and lose the 1 seed. That just wasn't going to happen. That wasn't going to happen. I think they knew it. I don't see any way Dallas doesn't win this game in convincing fashion. Washington is the worst defense in the NFL. Dallas is playing everybody because they need this win. Dallas is just beat them, 45-10 in Dallas not that long ago. I love Dallas in this spot. Anybody on Washington that is any good really won't give a shit. Like, we don't want this win. We don't need it. The management doesn't want it. Head coaches don't care because Ron Rivera's gone. It's Dallas, Dallas, Dallas. I don't like taking a big spread, especially in a divisional game. These games are closer than you would think, but I think Dallas is going to come out with some fire. I really do. Give me Dallas, minus 13.5. Addison.
I'm going to take Washington plus the 13.5. Just a lot of points. The game, obviously, Dallas needs to win, but they just need to win.
Right.
Not by big. They can just win comfortably.
Backdoor cover.
And I wonder if it's a situation where, it's a situation where Washington goes down super big. You know, I mean, Dallas does score 35 in the first 3 quarters and slows down a little bit. Maybe even takes Dak out. Yeah. And just because at that point, the game's over, don't want to get him hurt, Washington sneaks back in with a backdoor cover. Would have loved it if this was 14.5.
Yeah, I know. 13.5 is a nice hook. Sage.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly, Addison. I'm going to take Washington as well. It's not that I don't think Dallas is not going to blow this game out. Mm-hmm. I just think that Dallas might be winning enough to
take
be able
the foot
to
off
pull
the
some
gas.
people out. You know? If the fourth quarter's happening right now, Dak's out, they pull out a few of their starters, all of a sudden Parsons isn't in there, and Washington can put up 2 touchdowns in the fourth. Yeah. I can see that happening very, very easily.
Okay, I like it. Colin.
A sporting event, a concert, comedy show, anything you need your ticket for, you go to SeatGeek.
That's right, you do.
Promo code Playbook Sports.
$20 off.
And a nice segment we have around here for our game picks is the SeatGeek Dumbass Pick of the Week. And here is going to be the SeatGeek Dumbass Pick of the Week with Washington Commanders plus the 13.5, 1-6 on the season at home, 0-5 against NFC opponents. They're covering 13.5 this weekend.
Woo-wee. Oh, my God. You guys are going to give me Dallas
pick of the week and you're
by myself? You're going to give me Dallas by myself? Come on, man. I love that. Thanks,
Dumbass
fellas.
Pick of the week has cooled just a touch.
It has slowed down.
So I didn't want to use all of its powers on this next game.
Okay.
So I had to get it out of the way for the game prior.
Okay.
I like it.
Respect.
I like it. Alrighty. Final game of the season. For the AFC East, one of these teams can be eliminated with a loss and just 2 other favorites winning. Or they can be the 2 seed. Who knows what's going to happen? It's going to be an awesome football game. Buffalo at Miami. Right now the line is Buffalo minus 2.5. Sage, thoughts on this game?
I'm going to roll with Miami on this one. I like Miami strictly because of how they're going to game plan for it. Buffalo, the past how many weeks, has been absolutely atrocious, not only with how Stephon Diggs has been playing, but Josh Allen. Last week he had less than 200 yards.
He's had less than 200 yards, I think, 3 or 4 games in a row.
The week before that, it was James Cook, huge game
against the Cowboys,
less than 100 yards, something like that. You can't keep getting away with wins like that, especially not against a team that knows how to game plan and that has something to play for. Miami's going to be coming back big against after a huge blowout loss against the Ravens, and I don't see that happening twice. They're going to come back mad. They're going to come back at home. And I think Buffalo's going to falter right here, finally fall out of the playoffs. Look at our video a few months ago. Awesome. You'll see that I predicted this.
This is true. Colin, thoughts on this game?
So shortly after 3:25, about 6:30, I'll be rolling out of my Romo and right into my
right into the Danny.
Another show reference Nate hasn't seen that he should, Breaking Bad. Jesse Pinkman, one of my favorite characters from the show. There's a very memorable meme from that, and that's exactly what Nate is going to be saying on Sunday night. He can't keep getting away with it.
They can't keep getting away with this.
And that's because Buffalo is going to just fulfill the NFL's wet dream, and they're going to cover this 2.5 on Sunday night in Miami.
Okay, I respect it. Addison.
The
face.
To the side.
You know me. And what I love to pick.
Death, Texas, and Addison picking against the Dolphins spread.
And I got to shout out Tony Romo for talking this into
existence
because this is going to change Tua's career trajectory. Just the talk around him, how he's a chokey, how he can't win the division. when they lose a playoff game, McDaniels is going to get fired.
Yeah, right.
Come to the Bears.
Come to the Bears.
Be our OC.
He'd be hired so fucking fast.
So fast for every team in the league. But give me those Bills minus 2.5. I just think perfect storm. Obviously, they've looked ugly the last month, but they're 4-0 with an opportunity to be the 2 seed in the AFC. And we said it, man. That is the Bills season to a T. 2 seed are eliminated, man. That's practically what they're looking at. Give me the Bills minus 2.5. And Colin, you said it. It's just, how does this happen? How did it happen? And it's going to all look back on that Tennessee game for Miami.
It really is.
And just some injuries, man. I think Bradley Chubbs, that's just a heartbreaker. But this is going to be a damn good game. Miami getting points at home is juicy.
Yeah, it
but
is.
Give me those Bills minus 2.5 on a heartbreaker.
Okay. Yeah, Miami at home, 7-1 on the year. 1 loss. It was the 1-point loss to Tennessee, obviously, which kept the division open. Dolphins 4-1 in the division. Bills 3-2. Conference Dolphins 7-4. Bills 6-5. So the Dolphins have them by a game pretty much everywhere you look. Bills on the road this year, 3-4. Not great on the road. Not a very good road team this year with losses to the Patriots, losses to the Bengals, losses to the Eagles. They did beat the Chiefs. Beat the Chargers by 2 points with Easton Stick. Lost to the Jets. Beat the Commanders. So they're up and down. They're a very up and down team. This is the Buffalo roller coaster. We've been riding it all season long. September champs. Lose. Oh, we won a couple games now. Oh, we're 6-6. Oh, we're 10-6 with big wins. We're surviving. Just barely surviving. Is this where it drops? Or does it drop next week? This is where it drops, folks. This is where it drops. They're going to lose this game. The Dolphins are going to come out and win this game on Sunday night. The Dolphins are on the season in white-on-white jerseys. 7-1. 7-1 at home. 6-0. Sorry, 6-0 in the all-whites. 7-1 at home. Need it. I think McDaniel's going to have them going. You don't get your ass kicked by Baltimore like that and not come just ready to go against the Bills, who have skated by, honestly. Their one impressive win in their last 5 games was a good win against the Chiefs by 3, where the Chiefs shot themselves in the foot. Literally, Kadarius Toney shot themselves in the foot, and then they beat the Cowboys. That's their only impressive win. Lost to the Eagles. That's their only loss in the last 5 games.
If you look at their other impressive win in the season, it was against Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, in Buffalo. In Buffalo at the beginning. Yes, that is their really only other great victory because they lost to the Jags. They barely beat the Giants.
Just obviously looking at it from the NFC North lenses, I'm seeing this game and I'm looking back at the past and I'm scared I'm seeing some history that's already happened, and it might have been the year the Rodgers and the Packers won a Super Bowl. Last week of the season, Bears with an opportunity to keep the Packers out of the playoffs. Obviously, that's not the total case with the Bills. They could sneak in with a loss, but more than likely out with a loss.
Yeah.
Is Miami going to allow the red hot, even though they're ugly, but still red hot
still
team?
4-0 in their last 4.
Red hot division rival into the playoffs to potentially allow a quarterback to go do something crazy. Who knows?
See, I don't think they do because the Bills. I think this is awesome. I am certain that the Steelers are going to win and the Jaguars are going to win. I am certain because this game will be for the Bills' season.
Yeah.
And I think that this is where their fairy tale season. It's time for a drop. And here it comes because they're going to lose to Miami. Give me that home division dog. The home 7-1. The disrespect of being 7-1 and being underdogs at home. Come on. And when Miami plays the Colts next week in the playoffs, it's going to be electric. Because Addison's going to do the Gangnam Style.
That'll be the intro to the video.
That'll be the intro to the video.
I have a question.
Yes.
When Kansas City and Miami played in Germany, what was the spread on that game?
It was...
Who was favored?
Kansas City was favored.
The same stat I read for Dak. These
as underdogs versus favors.
I think Miami's 0-4 as a dog this year.
Probably. Well, I mean, you think the 5 losses, right? Only one of them was as a favorite, right? But then it was against Kansas City and Germany.
But does Miami have a win as a dog? Is my question.
No, because they were favorited against Dallas. Chargers. We were dogs in LA at the beginning of the season.
Week
1 we were dogs.
So they're 1-4.
1-4 is dogs.
So
all of them on the road too. We've never been a home dog. This is our first time as a home dog all season. So I like us at home. Like we are Dallas of the AFC. Chance to be the 2 seed. Chance to be the 2 seed.
Chance to be 12-5.
But chance to be 12-5. Both of them played against the number 1 seed and got absolutely shit pumped.
Yep. And
both of these teams are fantastic at home.
On the road against the 1 seed.
On the road against the 1 seed. Thank you. On the road.
Where are you gonna have to go again?
Potentially, unless Joe Flacco does the job. Does the job America wants. And then
he's not the hero America wants. He's the hero America needs.
The bingo. I'm going Miami. I'm going to ride with Sage on this one. We've got a couple differences. It's going to be big.
He's comeback player of the year.
It's going to come down to
I might have enough differences in there that if I go crazy, might sneak up.
I know we started off the same for the first like 5.
I know. We had to switch it up. I'm glad we did. So, those are the picks, guys. That's it. Week 18 is here. Those are the picks. I wore the Larry Zonka for good luck. You think we're not going to fucking win? Y'all are crazy. All right. Mortal Locks. Addison, I'm coming to you first.
Yep.
The Mortal Lock victory is still up for grabs, technically, because we've got me at 10-7, Sage 9-6-1, having missed one, Colin 9-6-2 on the Mortal. So it's if I get a win, I think I clinch it. So you guys got to stop me.
Okay.
So, Addison, what do you got?
Man, my heart wants me to take Houston -1.5 because I need them. But instead, I'm going to ride with the team I took last week. Give me those Bears plus the 3, and I'm must win. I'm going to say it for Justin Fields, Chicago Bears career. Big time game in Lambeau. Let's go screw the Packers season. Bears plus 3 is my mortal lock.
Like it. Okay. I'm
right.
skipping Sage. I'm going to Colin. Sage is next.
Spiteful play last week might have cost me mortal locks.
Yep.
Also, some backdoor covers might have cost me some mortal locks for some pushes, because at no point was the team ever scoring to push for me. They were scoring to allow the push.
Bingo.
I like to get some sloppy ones, some ugly ones, some uncanny mortal locks, if you will. Give me those dirty birds, those Atlanta Falcons, plus 3, going into New Orleans and ending the Aints season.
Oh, my. Okay, that was a shocker. All right.
Okay.
Sage.
This one seems too easy. And at the end of the year, when things are so close, you got to take a layup every once in a while.
Absolutely.
I'm going to take your Tampa Bay Buccaneers -4.5, going up against the worst team in the league, the Carolina Panthers. Lock it in.
I like that. And then I'm doing something that's probably stupid, honestly. I'm going Detroit. I'm going Detroit -3 at home. That's stupid because it's clean sweep. We all took Detroit. And it's like, why is the line only 3 points? Why is it only 3 points? I don't understand why. I don't care why. Because Detroit's going to win this game by 10. Because they're pissed off, America. And they need this.